Hey Taylor, it's Professor Ryan. I just got finished looking at your Clark and Mayer presentation. I just want to throw by a couple of comments about what I was seeing there. You know what? It's really interesting. First of all, the way that you formatted the presentation, I thought that was really good. To be perfectly honest, when I first saw the structure, and I thought, well, geez, this kind of looks like a Prezi. I've never been a real big fan of Prezis, quite honestly. But I think what you did was you really used the Prezi like in the most appropriate way that I can think of, in terms of making it really, really well organized. That's the thing that was really compelling for me about what you did here, was that it was very, very well organized. In fact, when I'm normally looking at a Prezi, it's usually kind of the way things move around. It's kind of distracting and mesmerizing. It makes me dizzy at times, But the way that you had it organized so that it was the principle, followed by why it's important, followed by things to avoid, and it was set up that way, it made it really understandable. And so that once we were through the first one and we started on the second one, my mind was not occupied by what's going on here. It was like, I know that we're going to be going through the same procedure for the second one. So that was really good that you removed some of that cognitive distraction with that, and it was good. And then of course the other ones were, we were thinking, oh geez, what are these other things going to be about? But with the example and the research and things like that. So that was really, really quite good. And the example, I'm glad that you showed your example for the from your project and so forth, and which used an example that was coming from the project. One thing that I would make as a suggestion for the future, or if you want to actually take a shot at it now, is that you do a really good job with the explanation of pairing words and visuals with it. But in the presentation itself, when you were delivering all of these things, I didn't see really one of those examples, like you just actually doing it and showing it within your presentation itself. So that's one thing that I think your presentation, it would have benefited if you had done that. So there's that piece there. And then the second thing is that you alluded to with your example, obviously, that this is with the bridges thing. This is the my text and my visual and so forth. And I had an idea of where you're going to use it. But what I was looking for also is like a very intentional explanation as to how you were going to use multimedia within your course project, so that I have an idea. And the reason for that is I always try to get my students to be thinking ahead on the strategy on how they're going to incorporate the multimedia within the project. All right, so that's why forcing you to write it down is usually helpful. So that's where I'm going with that. So if you care to or you want to, you can go back and add those things in for full credit, and that's it's completely cool with me. And let me know. All right. Otherwise, it was really good. And have a great day. Bye.